dangerous business going out your door. You sit down at the table, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about campaign and legacy games, which are coming up next.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to WiscoDice. Hey, yo, folks. I am your host, Conesy with Most, and I'm joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And today we're rolling into campaign and legacy games on this episode of WiscoDice. But first, what are we drinking today?
Oh, I'm so excited to tell
you got
everyone.
Something new, right?
Right. Thanks to one of you, I believe it was Gypsy Moonbeam, who mentioned that her favorite drink at Liv's is peanut butter cold brew.
Which is like a signature drink.
There's signature drink there. And I went and got it hot today.
Which you can do. It's normally a cold brew drink.
Yep. So I have peanut butter cold brew, which has got coffee or espresso, and it tastes, yes, exactly like a warm peanut butter cookie that's melting in your mouth.
Plus, I've got a mocha, and you've got your cafe meal as well.
Yes, I have my cafe meal because I wasn't sure of how I was going to think about a melted peanut butter cookie.
All right, well, let us know in the comments what you're drinking while you're enjoying board games and coffee today. And while you're down there, what should they do?
Oh, you should definitely smash that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already.
Go ahead and do it now, right away while you're down there. Go ahead and start talking about these campaign and legacy games. We got 5 of them that we've picked up. We've played a lot of campaign and legacy games over the year.
Oh my gosh, so many.
And really, one of the things that folks maybe struggle a little bit about is there a difference between a campaign and a legacy game?
And there is. There's a definite difference. So with the campaign game, you are going to work through a story, and that you can always reset it and start over if you want to. And then when you have a legacy game, you are permanently altering the components or the board or whatever you're playing with in such a way that you can't go back and restart it easily. Like usually you have to have like some campaign games or legacy games have like a reset pack that you can do, but it permanently alters the game. And then you can occasionally play the final product, and sometimes it's hey, I've played my 12, 15, 20 times of this game, and I'm done.
Yeah, so absolutely, that's the big difference. In a legacy game, there may or may not actually be a story arc with it, although I think all of the ones we've played, there's really really kind of sort of, sometimes it's shoehorned in a little bit, but there's always
something
some form
to tie
of
it together.
Story arc together.
Yeah. There's something tying it together always.
So we got our top 5. Like I said, we've played a dozen or so different legacy games or campaign games at least.
I know, we were going through this. I was like, oh my gosh, we've played so many.
It's one of our favorite types of games to play as a couple, because we can just, we can pick them up, play them, go through the whole thing in, several sittings and kind of, and actually get it done. A lot of campaign and legacy games, oftentimes, if you have players that you don't live with or whatever, can sometimes struggle to get completed. Looking at you, Gloomhaven and Frosthaven in particular, there are so many plays of the same game over and over, and trying to get the same group together. Any Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing group will tell you that scheduling is the number one killer of those types of games. So that can be a struggle here with these too. So
yeah, and I know a lot of people maybe dedicate a long weekend where they are basically, staying with someone, you go and visit relatives or friends or whatever, and the whole plan is that you're just playing the game the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Which is fun, and a lot of times when I start a campaign game, I want to see it through to the end, and I don't want to play anything else.
Yeah, I mean, Matt did that for Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, right?
Yep.
He flew down or took a vacation and took a long weekend, extended weekend with friends of his and banged out the whole campaign in a single weekend.
Yes, which is intense. But so for you, what are things why do you enjoy campaign and legacy games other than lots of quality time with your wife?
I like narrative gameplay, period. Like that is, I like a good, heavy, crunchy game.
Some of these are good, heavy, crunchy games on our list.
To those, but theme and narrative and being able to feel like I'm immersed into whatever the game is trying to make me feel like I'm doing is always is like one of the things I really look forward to out of a game. And if not all of these games that we're about to talk to have a great narrative to go along with the story they're telling while you're playing these repeated sessions, so it makes you keep wanting to come back and play again.
Yeah, which is definitely a highlight for me. I like having usually theme for a game. If I'm just sitting down and playing it, I like having a theme in the game. The theme doesn't matter as much what it is to me, but what I'm finding I really enjoy with the campaign and legacy games is that you are creating either a character that's going on the journey or your organization or whatever it is that you are playing as, and you're building it up and you're seeing it through, like all the way through with kind of its life cycle and its growth. So many times you're playing a game, like especially with deck builders, and I love deck builders, you get to a point where, okay, I've got it optimized. I've got my engine working. I've got my deck great. I've got my character built out how I want it to be. Oh, shoot, the game's over. So now you get to enjoy continuing growth and enjoying what you've accomplished in the previous game. As I'm going to knock my coffee down.
I was going to say, are you guys out there watching, waiting to see how long it goes until she knocks over a coffee?
This is what happens when I get 2 coffees. Double the espresso and more spills.
No spills.
Anyway, but that's what I really like, is just seeing that growth and being able to have that little bit extra, like this is what my character, this is what it can actually do, and seeing how powerful what I've created does.
Well, our first game on the list lets you do exactly that. In fact, Our first game is actually a pair of games, but since they're very, very similar and it's the same family of game, we're wrapping them both up together.
Yeah.
And that game is
that is Clank Acquisitions Incorporated Legacy game.
Yep.
And Clank 2 version of it. So the first one and the second one.
Yes.
We are in the middle of this campaign for the second one right now.
Yes. So we have played both of them now, although we have not finished the full second legacy game. But so far we're enjoying the second one more. I think it's just a little bit deeper, richer gameplay. There's more, like every round there seems like there's a little bit something different throwing it in, so it isn't just the same Clank map over and over.
Yeah, there's a little bit, your characters have a little bit more to them that you are playing. But what I like about the first one is if you have not played Clank a lot, or it's been a while since you've played Clank, or never played it, that one kind of teaches you, slowly builds upon how to play the game. Yeah. And Clank 2, I feel if you don't know how to play Clank, the general mechanisms for Clank and everything, it jumps you in to that game. So
it's not intended to teach you, which I really like. Like I know this was definitely the case with a lot of some of the earlier legacy games were that they kind of simplified or removed mechanics from like the base game. For the first few games.
Right.
And then as you kept playing, you added on more and more mechanisms. And then maybe eventually you'd get into something that was unique to the campaign. And so, the first Acquisitions Incorporated Clank Legacy game is definitely in that genre, so that by the time you get to the mid or end of the game, sometimes it feels like you're just doing things repetitively.
And there are a couple more on our list that kind of do that too, but we'll talk about that when we get to that.
Yeah, we'll mention that as we get there.
But this is,
but it's super fun, and if you're a fan of Clank, definitely we'd recommend you check this out. We have friends who are getting their first Clank Acquisitions Incorporated campaigns kicked off right now. So
yeah, it's a great game, and it's one that you can play with a wide range and skill of gamers.
Yes,
too. So it's a deck building game at its heart. But an adventuring
It
Yeah,
is. And well, we're going to go for an adventure on our next pair of games.
Oh, yes.
And again, this is we're pairing 2 games together instead of just picking one, which maybe it's kind of cheating in our top 5. But
I think
they're
if you pick
both
either one of them,
very similar again
Yeah.
mechanically. One is just a sequel to the game. I have my preference. We'll talk a little bit about. I think you have your preference. We've played both of these. We played the one as a 2-player, and we played the other one as a 3-player.
what game is it?
The game is Frosthaven and Gloomhaven from Cephalofair Games. These are massive, huge box. Dungeon crawler. You're going to play a series of different characters throughout the course of the game as you're unlocking new characters that you can play throughout the gameplay. You're unlocking new adventures you can go on.
Yeah, and you're not going to hit every adventure that's in the box because your
choices are going to
dictate which branch. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure in some ways.
Most people are going to probably hit most of the adventures in the box just simply because in order to do that, you're looking at probably 120 plays of this.
Yeah.
Or more.
And that's like 120 completing everything the first time you go through it.
I think in base Gloomhaven there's 100 missions, and
was
then
that it?
I think in Frosthaven was like 120 or something like that. I don't know. Frosthaven definitely got bigger, but rather than rolling dice or anything, it's got a neat use cards, and you have these kind of multi-use cards that set not only when you activate in a turn, but you also those cards determine what actions you can do. Like the bottom of most cards control kind of your movement, and the tops of most cards, so there's a top action and a bottom action. And the tops of most cards are attacks. Yep. And you have to select one bottom and one top of the 2 cards you play that you're going to do when it's your turn to act.
Yep. And the cards also are a timer for the game because, every so often you have to pull a card out of that scenario. Mm-hmm. That it's, so when you run out of cards, your character is exhausted.
Yep. You have your normal health and whatever
That's
too.
Your health,
But you also have cards as another way that your character can be eliminated because, yes, you're slowly eliminating these cards. Throughout the course of the adventure.
Yeah, and one thing with this game that we've noticed is that you do need to pick characters that you would enjoy playing because you get a little brief, here, this is what they do. Are they someone who wants to protect everyone? Are they a trap master? Are they, real fighty? But it needs to balance with the rest of your crew.
I think Gloomhaven, it was more evident that we needed to manage balance in the party than Frosthaven was.
Frosthaven, we also have 3 players.
But we
do need to balance it a bit.
4 characters, and while we were 2 players, we were playing 4 characters.
We did do that, but it's definitely you do. But no matter what, you still need to have some balance, and you need to communicate with each other. Though you can't. The rules do not want you to say, "Well, I'm going to play this card. What card are you going to play?" and plan out everything. You can say, I'm going to be going a little earlier and I'm going to be attacking. So you can talk generally what your plan is, but not the specifics of your plan, which helps with the quarterbacking aspect.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't happen too much with the 2 of us.
It didn't happen really in our 3-player game.
No. But I'm just saying in general. In general, when we
don't
play,
quarterback each other.
So, but, some games that it can happen in, and this does have that way to mitigate it. So you had
the big difference. There's one major difference between Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. And Frosthaven, you have there's a lot more that happens in the after gameplay section of the game where you're building out.
You're
building out the town of Frosthaven. It's like its own mini game on top of. Yes. Rapid, instead of just a quick rapid wrap up of what you had been doing. So that is a pretty big change, and I know a lot of people like that. Now, my preference personally of the 2, and this is I think where you were going to go, is that I prefer the game, Gloomhaven a little bit more than I preferred Frosthaven. Now, I really like the fact that we had 3 people at the table playing our Frosthaven campaign. That was great. of the three of us, I could have cared less about the post. That inner game stuff just took too long, and I didn't care for it.
I actually preferred Gloomhaven over Frosthaven. Also, I like that it was, hey, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm going to focus on doing our map and our little scenario right now, and then we'll do our upgrading our people, whatever, at the end of it, and it's done. For me, the Frosthaven portion, that minigame, like, I was so kind of mentally worn out from our battle and trying to figure that out. Then to switch gears, I had to make myself a cheat sheet of like what happened when, because it is important what order happens when you're in the post game portion of it.
Oh, and winters are brutal. Like, it was just so miserable. Like,
it almost has its own like little.
We're like, and then we got to play this game like another 10 times before we get out of winter, and winter was so nasty.
So I do enjoy it, and I appreciate that it added this extra part of the story, which was very nice, and it was kind of cool with some of the other things different ways that you could unlock spells and stuff that you can acquire.
Yeah.
So that was
and
nice
and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I liked that portion of it.
It was a cool way to set up more ways to unlock stuff for sure. It just. Yeah, it to me it was a little like it was too much.
It took a long time, and it's like you got this whole thing set out on your table. It's definitely fun.
Oh yeah, you needed a whole separate table for this.
Yeah, like we were very fortunate that we had 2 tables that we had, one portion of the game set up on one and one on the other.
I will say though, it did a great job. Like in Gloomhaven, you have like a world map. That's like a board world map.
Yeah, which you do in Frosthaven too.
And you do in this, but it's also got the city that you're building out. And so because the post game was so much more elaborate, you did more with that world map.
Oh, yeah. You had a lot of
Gloomhaven, you could have just ignored that world map entirely and been just fine.
Yes, that is very true. So,
all right.
Anyway, that's Frosthaven and Gloomhaven.
Well, we're talking about world maps.
Yeah.
Now we're just going to buy a ticket and take a train ride.
Ooh, does that mean our next one is Ticket to Ride?
Ticket to Ride Legacy, yep.
Awesome. So.
Yeah, this one's from Days of Wonder. And so Ticket to Ride is, a ridiculously classic.
And classy, too. You go on a train ride. Is that fancy?
Yeah. Set collection / route builder kind of game that's been around quite a while in the board game world and is definitely considered to be one of the more gateway or entry level board games in the adult world of adult board gaming.
But people that are
whatever they call this hobby
board gaming.
Modern board gaming.
If it's not called that, that's what we're gonna call it.
In Ticket to Ride Legacy, you're playing basically Ticket to Ride US, which is the base original map set. If you buy just Ticket to Ride without any other, that's what you're going to get. But you only have a very small fraction of the world map to start with. Right, because
it's the growth of the rail system.
You're growing the rail network, and you're adding in. And so this is, again, like Clank Acquisitions Incorporated. This is the first legacy for Clank. This is teaching you how to play Ticket to Ride at the beginning of your first 2 or 3 plays are learning base Ticket to Ride.
Yep. Which was a little bit like
that was
okay. We know
it was a little painful for us
because we play it quite a bit. Our daughter's favorite game to play with us is Ticket to Ride.
Yes.
And so we play it a lot. We play the physical copies. We play BGA. And so we got this to do as a family one year over winter break. And it was a great thing to do as a family. Like, we were all enjoying it.
Right.
But it was like, oh, shoot, we just got to get through those first few games. And then
it started opening up and doing some neat things.
And then
there were some surprises, too.
Right, yes. And then the nice thing, too, with this, when you are done with it, you have a unique Ticket to Ride map that you can play.
Which we know was the same deal with Clank Acquisitions Incorporated, the first one anyways. We haven't finished the second one.
On this one, it says it says it is, too.
So, yeah, you do end up with a custom map.
Yeah.
That is yours and yours only.
to play.
and it will not look like anybody else's. And it's pretty guaranteed that yours is not going to. It'll look kind of like everybody else's because like Montana is still where Montana is, California is still where California is, but like the route colors that are needed to go places and everything are all going to be dynamic. They're going to be different. That is really cool, and I've actually was thinking that that was one of those things we should have maybe broke out yesterday to just play as
we can still do that today.
A group. So,
but yeah, so Ticket to Ride is like if you know you like games and you do not even own Ticket to Ride yet, go and get this one, and then you have a unique copy of Ticket to Ride.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If we were forced to get rid of Ticket to Ride,
if there was any one thing I'd say is that while I have a unique copy of Ticket to Ride, I would never want to play our unique copy of Legends of the West or whatever it is that it's called with anybody who hasn't played the campaign who wants to, because there are
good point.
Definitely surprises on the map that are part of the narrative that
is very
are
true.
Pretty cool that you get to uncover while you play it.
All right. Well, I guess there goes my idea of putting it up on the wall. But anyway, so that was Ticket to Ride, which is another legacy game, but you can play your copy afterwards. So let's go to campaign games.
They're all campaign games.
Sorry.
So the next one
we're
gonna take a journey to the world of elves and men, and of one dark ring, the rule of them all, in Lord of the Rings: Journey in Middle Earth from Fantasy Flight Games, and this one is an app-driven game where you're going to play a series of missions to try to overcome some goal. None of them are, while you're playing like a lot of the classic characters from the Lord of the Rings trilogy of books or movies. This is definitely more orientated towards the book versions. It's not the movie art, it's the book versions of, so it's all unique, but it's all really good art that goes with it, and you're exploring the world a lot in every single one of these. And I think it does one of the things that Token's writing does so well is the world building aspect, where you get these great descriptions of mountains and dwarven holds, and both from the perspective of the characters as well as just the narrative explanation that happens in his books. And this game, I think, embraces that so well. It's probably the most Lord of the Ringsy game I've ever played. But at the same time, there is always the pressure of the forces of Sauron, the bad guys, whoever the villains are you're working against, that are working against you. So while there's always so much you want to explore, and the map that you explore out has so many things that you have to explore, that you want to explore. And some of the things you like, there's like a cool little thing, and you read the little description, you're like, ooh, that sounds really cool. I want to find out what that's there. And you get this like cool little bit of lore, but all it was like a golden apple or whatever that tastes good or something like that you found there. And all of those, because you're burning actions and you're burning time, the forces of the bad guys are closing in around you, and it gets harder and harder to be successful and win the missions the more you do the exploration, which is so you have to make this like choice of how much do I explore versus
it's a kind of open world-esque. It gives you that feeling with being able to explore.
There's so much.
You have a goal that you need to complete. And I'm going to say Conesy is a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. It's not that I'm not. I just have not gotten into it as much, but I love this game. Like, I really enjoy this game, and I always forget that it's a campaign game, but I love playing it. You're either, each part of your scenario, like each next scenario for you, it's either an exploration scenario or it's a fight.
Yep.
So there are like these battles where you set up the board like differently, and it's just a straight on battle.
It's more like a dungeon crawler, except it's like a 2x2 grid with things like, and it's like those even feel very narrative in those fights.
They do, and it's really kind of cool going through
while being
this
like kind of a super abstract board that the way they put it together. It's
yeah. I guess I don't mind that, and it's app driven, which sometimes the app it can be. Not this app, but apps-driven games can be like finicky and everything. It actually adds a lot to this game.
The unknown, yes, the unknown in this game. Like I've done a lot of campaigns, like we were talking about whether we wanted to include Star Wars Imperial Assault on this list.
Yeah,
because we had a lot of fun in that. But that was a one versus many where at least the way we were playing it, where I was running as the Overlord and we had 4 heroes. That were going up against me, but the maps were always built out. You always kind of knew what the missions were, whereas you could kind of gauge what was going on in the map and build your own timing for when to do things and when not to do things. And in this, you don't really know.
it's like you're walking down the trail in the forest and you don't know when something's going to pop out at you.
You have something you have this thing that's urgent that you need to do, but you don't have it's harder to read how
do you get to it?
Or how quickly you need to get to it.
Right. Yep. So
plus the map is being built out as you're playing.
Do you know which way you go? You need to pay attention to those kind of clues in the narration that you give it. Because there will be some subtle clues that will help guide you to where you need to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can still figure it out even if you miss some. But, you could totally go the wrong way and be like, oh, shoot, I need to go all the way to the other end of the board. I should have gone left when I went right.
Absolutely. It's really well done. And if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, I think we both would definitely recommend.
Even if you're not a fan of Lord of the Rings, if the rest of the game mechanics and everything sound good, check it out. You will enjoy it. Mm-hmm. We got one more. We got our 5th one on the list.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of ill. I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think I might not be able to cover this one.
All right, go lay down. I can talk about this. This one is Pandemic Legacy. It started with season 1, and then was it? I don't know. Oh my gosh. There's 3 versions of it out there. 0, 1, and 2.
Yes. We played them all.
We've played them all. You do need to play 1 before you play 2. We kind of feel like, because it does build on it.
Well, 1 was the first one that was released.
Yep.
And then 2 was the second one that was released. And then 0 is the third one that was released.
Yeah. And they're all good. They're all unique enough that made us want to play and appreciate playing all 3 of them. Season 1 was, again, similar to Clank and Ticket to Ride, where it teaches you how to play Pandemic.
And then about halfway through, something really changes.
Right. Yep.
And you all go, yeah, it's awesome! And then it's great. The second half of it's just awesome.
Yes.
And terrifying at the same time.
It is. It is. It's, very good. I think we played Season 2 and Season 0 during the pandemic.
We did.
Which is not maybe the one.
No, we did Season 2. We wrapped up our Season 1 because we started it with our daughter, and then she kind of just dropped off. And
it was
pandemic.
She was also in high school and had a lot of other things going on.
And it was pandemic. Yeah,
she likes
it was
pandemic.
The pandemic, and so we finished it. We broke it out and finished it, and then we did Season 0, which we did in like a week.
Oh, yeah, because once you start the game, you got to finish it for me.
Not as fast as we finished Clank Legacy, but Season 1. But, and then eventually, about a year or 2 later, I was pandemic'd out, so you wanted to dive right into Season 2, but I needed a break. So we did Season 2 like a year or 2 later.
Yeah. You're going through, you're playing Pandemic, you're adding things onto it. Mm-hmm. You come out with this kind of cool looking board afterwards that you don't really replay.
There is no replayability to any of the Pandemic Legacy games.
No, but what I do want to do, what I've seen people do with it, is they make a shadow box of their final map and some of the components and everything to put on the wall. Because it does,
we've talked about doing
I think it looks pretty cool. Since we can't replay it, you've got this board. It's like, as opposed to keeping the game on the shelf in a box that we could never play again.
Or throwing it in the bin and throwing it out, right? That's
right. Well, yeah. Oh my
so,
gosh! Don't throw out games now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also can't buy like a reset pack or anything like that.
There's no
reset. So once it's done, it's done. It's like some of those escape room games that once you like it require you to rip cards and cut cards in half and things like that. Like once you played it, you're done. Like
and as we've been talking about this, I know in a previous video or our podcast we did talk about why board games versus like going out having like a date night or going out on the town type of thing.
Yeah.
And what I really also like about these legacy and campaign games is that that you're gonna get like 8 to 100 plays depending on which one, but like let's say 12 plays a game.
Like just like Pandemic Legacy Season 1, which I think a lot of people that board game probably have tried. And if you haven't, I definitely recommend you do. Mm-hmm. That's probably 14 to 18 plays. Yeah. Somewhere in that range is where most groups are going to have total plays.
It's really, so you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, if you think about like, and every play is about an hour.
Compared to other board games we have.
Every play is around an hour to an hour and a half, right? You've got whatever 14 to 18 hours, probably 14 to 22 hours of total enjoyment out of that. That's maybe not quite as much as you get out of some video games, right? But it's definitely like compared to going out to the movies for that. Like how many? Like that's.
Well, and you're also like we have a lot of board games here, so
there were just a couple.
So some games that we maybe say we play a lot, they do not get played 12 times in a year. These, you're getting them played, and then
I don't think I played anything more than in 2025. I don't think I played any single game that wasn't a legacy game or a campaign game more than 6 or 7 times.
What about Fliptoons?
I think I got 8. Oh, I think I'm up 10 or 11. Actually, Fliptoons, okay, that is like the one exception.
It's a quick, fun game.
Yeah,
but it's not legacy or anything like that. But anyway, so I think, when you're looking at your return on investment for these games, too, not only do you have this unique experience, this bonding experience, this, story, and you get to play a game a whole bunch of times that you enjoy, it ends up not really being too much of a cost, too. I mean, I know we're not here to talk about that, but it's just an extra bonus.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bonus with those.
Because, you might never be able to play it again, but for us, I don't know about you, but after we got through with all the pandemic games, I'm like, I'm good for a bit now.
Yeah, I don't need to play regular Pandemic for a while. Although the Fellowship Pandemic Engine game was a lot of fun.
But that's a Lord of the Rings labeling on a pandemic game. That's different.
Right, well, my cup has run dry. We have talked about Clank Acquisitions Incorporated. We've talked about Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. We've talked about Ticket to Ride. We've talked about the Lord of the Rings Journey in the Middle Earth. And we've talked about Pandemic Legacy today. So if you're interested in any of these games, we will have links to our Amazon affiliates in the description below. You can check them out if you decide to purchase one of them. We do get a little bit of money. You don't pay anything extra, and it does help the show, so we do appreciate it if you do. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Till next time, peace out. Hey there, it's Conesy. Thank you so much for watching. We put out videos weekly here at WiscoDice. Check out our channel for more great videos, and don't forget to subscribe. We also have more great content on our website at WiscoDice.com. Of course, we do this all for you, the viewers. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.